So
Sorry about
who do you want to introduce, good sir?
I'm going to go ahead and introduce QQ7 and friends is what I'm going to call them. We've got Ohio, Yamato. They have a DM, Goliath, Colbert, Venezia, Stalingrad, and a pair of Shimikazes. So stealthy destroyers and lots of flame-throwing cruisers is what we're going to be seeing from QQ7 and friends.
Yeehaw. Over on the KS-A, looks like it's a TKS clan, I guess, or maybe it's a bit of an amalgamation. We've got a Montana, a Yamato for some long-range snipperino. Got a Des Moines, Venezia, double Moskva, cause Russian. Got a Daring, Colbert for the speediness, and a Holland? Holland. Okay.
That's a surprise. I have not seen the Howland since the last, I guess, carrier clan battle season. Howland being characterized, of course, by lots of very fast-moving torpedoes with low damage and extraordinarily good AA. So when your destroyer's gimmick is completely nullified by the fact there are no carriers, it does bring into question why exactly is you're bringing it. It could just be for the constant torpedo spam. What do you think?
I guess that has to be it, because if I understand correctly, the Holland and the Smolin stats are darn near similar, in the exception that the Smolin chucks 8 torps and the Holland chucks 10. But giving up the radar as well as the sexy Smolin guns and boost, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't have the Smolin.
It's true. The Smolin, by the way, is actually banned for this tournament. The Smolin was a frequent visitor of the last King of the Seas tournament. Has been banned along with Thunderer, along with Sommers, along with a few others, because they're no longer available and therefore have been, they've been removed. So here we go. First engagements of the match here. The Kleber from TKS from KSA is already chucking torpedoes at where it thinks the Shimikaze is going to be. It's going to find nothing, but having 3 destroyers means that KSA is going to be able to take B uncontested.
Absolutely. Daring takes the B. Holland is still slow boating it over to Charlie. Shimikaze being the faster boat. AP's Polsky is going to be touching C before the Holland gets there, and frankly, I don't know how the Holland moves in. Des Moines riding that 10 line over for KSA. Going to be a while before he gets into position. Any kind of radar threat, I'd assume C's going to fall as well, but looks like we've got a little bit of the destroyer mating dance with 2 DDs looking to ass wiggle into each other, although I assume that Shimikaze is going to see the Kleber first. And I don't know, maybe like a date that you come into, blind date, nope, sorry, just not going to do that, and check out.
Yep, absolutely. So what Ozcons is describing there is what we affectionately call the DD mating dance, where 2 DDs will back in towards the cap. You can see it happening here at A, and they're doing so to attempt to spot the other first at maximum spotting range. So Kleber obviously going to lose the spotting contest with the Shimikaze, but win any gunfight hands down. So Shima should be spotting the Kleber here soon, as torpedoes being traded up here on the north end by C. Shimikaze of Polsky coming in from QQ7. Again, yeah, trading torpedoes with the Howland. The Howland able to throw out a lot more torpedoes, but when a torpedo does connect from a Howland, it's going to do considerably less damage than one of the, I think it's 24,000 alpha damage from the Shimikaze's torpedoes. Does that sound about right?
All I know is Shimitorps hurt, and the Holland unfortunately not able to do anything. He's got really fast torps that move by any effective target really quickly, but oof, that Des Moines gets clapped. What did that come from? Was that the Moskva or the Yamato?
I think that was the Yamato from 36th Fink coming in from KSA. Just, yeah, right through the nose of Requiem's Des Moines.
Well, Requiem is diving for that island. He did get a spot on the Holland, and they've ripped him up a little bit. And while the Holland's AA mounts don't matter very much, its heal is certainly going to come through, as eventually he's going to back off, be able to pick up a little bit of that health back, and see if he can pressure Charlie. However, he doesn't have a way in on Polsky's Shimikaze until Sejuk is able to take an island position and radar the dastardly DD back.
That's right. So the Des Moines here, obviously taking a moment to take a breath behind the rock here. He got cracked right at the beginning, lost about half of his health, much of which was probably Citadel damage and cannot be repaired. That's probably going to allow the Moskva and the Des Moines of KSA to move up here to put a little extra pressure on that Des Moines, knowing they already have a health advantage over Requiem. So at the moment, we're just seeing a standard sort of competitive standoff here, I want to say, between the 2 DDs. As the cruisers get into position, there's the radar from that Des Moines. We'll see if Polsky gets caught out in the open. I don't think anyone can see him yet.
Polsky got lit. He's on the absolute edge. The question is, can anybody shoot? And the answer is no, except for Merrick's daring, who is goes ahead, smokes up, starts lighting into that Shimma. Shimma's got a really aggressive position, pushing almost halfway across the sea cap just to try to see something, and not seeing any of it because the Moskva and Des Moines are hidden behind islands. Still, very easy for Polsky with his Shimma to get it safety. Daring going to be blind firing after a little bit, but just not finding any purchase with that. However, KSA does still hold 2 caps to 1, which is going to put them in a, hey, guess what, QQ7, y'all got to do something here. And right now they haven't figured that out.
Yeah, that's right. So QQ7 does actually have the C cap. They have it pretty solidly. Polsky sort of just keeping them honest by dipping into the cap there, but the Howland is not going to be able to outspot the Shimakaze. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm really wondering if the Colbert of QQ7 and friends is gonna make an appearance here. He's only useful if he can shoot stuff, and he can only shoot stuff if he can see stuff. So we'll have to see if they can actually make a play with that Colbert.
That is true, and right now, with no pressure on the C cap, there's no reason for Requiem to move. There's no reason for the Colbert to move. Also, if he does, he might end up eating some of those cheeky little Holland torps, one of which might actually snap Polsky. Nope, makes the gap, and that's going to be A-OK. So the Shimmick has rotated for QQ7 off of A all the way over to B, and is now looking to threaten it and force that daring of Merrick, who had all the time in the world to chuck shots over to Shimakaze, and now look at the other Shimakaze and start trying to contest B.
That's right. So we're seeing a little standoff here as C is firmly in QQ7's hands for now until the Howland, who is backing in, can contest it, and then we're going to start seeing some gunfire. But at the moment, the B cap being contested by Alex0874 from QQ7 and friends, who has rotated from A over to B. That's an interesting choice, as the Shimakaze could have outspotted that daring by, well, quite a bit. Shots being traded now. Requiem, Des Moines, taking a lot of fire as torpedoes come in on Alex. No, they miss.
Yeah, we've got the contest with Punter backing into the cap, and the Shimakaze has been bullied back with the double radar of Sajuk and Adam Obvious's Des Moines and Moskva, respectively. Colbert has opened up trying to force back one of the radars, but frankly, even though there's a double radar, which is committed by KSA over to Charlie, they still have no purchase on this cap whatsoever. Is a little surprising to see Alex with the Shimakaze from QQ7 bailing over to Bravo, and yet forcing the spotting advantage, shoving that daring back. As the mating dance wins, Alex taking a dominant position in the dance as he forces the other one from the ring like a sumo wrestler that didn't even have to punch.
That's right. So the daring of Merrick here, taking 14,000 damage by getting clapped by the Venezia, I believe, of Moose on the Loose. So he's going to be essentially forced out of B and have to wait till the Shima leaves. That gives time for QQ7 to go over and try to make a play at A, as yes, in fact, the Colbert of Lowski now putting all of the Colbert's eggs into one basket and just trying to dunk on this Des Moines over here, as Requiem taking lots and lots and lots of damage in order to spot for Lowski. I don't know if this is a good trade here, as big shots coming in. No, they go into the rock. Oof.
But Sajuk is getting murder-faced. Looks like the Des Moines lights off the radar just to keep him lit, and down goes Sajuk. That's going to be the first loss of the game over to KSA, which does not have purchase over C to begin with, and they just lost one of the people that could provide pressure. Even less of a chance now that they're going to be able to take C as the Shimakaze moves to get a spot on the Holland. Punter very soon is going to be punted right out of the cap by the detection of the Shimakaze and the guns of a Colbert from long-range spam. Over in Bravo, Alex did force Merrick back, but the QQ7 Shimakaze was lit by the Moskva of I Die Quick, who has actually yet to take a point of damage, so not dying quickly at all, which did drive him back. And now that we've got a Colbert and a Daring looking to double team the Shima not really interested in that 2x1 special, and has reversed some, ceding the cap back to KSA. KSA still with a lead of 120 points, 2 caps to 1.
Yeah, this is a really important thing to note that Oscons just pointed out, which is that right now there's a 120-point advantage for KSA, and they're still technically, they're still slated to win on points. That's an important thing because that suggests who has the initiative at the moment, who has to make a play. And right now, it's KSA's game to lose, as things are right now. A has been effectively abandoned. The Goliath from QQ7, I guess that's Wreckful over there, he may actually figure out here that he will have the ability to push in on that Moskva. The Goliath will 100% win a trade with a Moskva. But Yeah, Merrick of KSA has actually pushed back in, and is well, he's holding that cap against Alex's Shimikaze, which puts the point tick at exactly the same, as both teams gaining points at the same rate right now.
And as you call it, Reckful is starting to move in and take some aggressive purchase, being able to shell down that Moskva of I Die Quick. Just going to go out on a limb here and say that the Moskva being slowly shelled by a Goliath is not going to die quickly, but at the moment, Alex of QQ7 reversing into Bravo, once again playing the spotting game and forcing the daring back. Marion goes ahead and pops his smoke and bails from the cap once more. QQ7 exerting pressure and starting to work on this. They've got some eyes on Alex. Could be blind fire, not quite sure. I see a radar going off, but that's the Stalingrad of Fevigi.
I Die Quick threw up a radar, caught Alex there. Alex doing a very good job of juking that fire that's coming in. He saved a lot of HP on that. There's an important thing to point out here, which is that the ability for a destroyer to keep HP on board, on ship, is the way that you essentially win these games in a lot of circumstances. Once you lose your spotters, once you lose your ability to take the cap safely, the game gets a lot more difficult, as there is now 2 minutes and 30 seconds until KSA wins this match, except that, oh, never mind, excuse me, B has been stepped on. That shot it back up to 5 minutes, but KSA now with 800 points. They're doing very well against a team of what are essentially, it's a Hurricane team with subs from other Hurricane clans.
Yeah, if we look at it, QQ7 is really just dove deep on this Charlie cap. Shimikaze, Des Moines, Colbert mostly sitting there not really doing very much. They did result in a kill on the Des Moines, which was pretty nice, but frankly, C has been taken, C has been held, and there's just about no damn way in. Maybe if the Colbert rode down, exerted some pressure somewhere else, but I think they're working on that Moskva, but that's going to be a long job. Meanwhile, Reckful down at the A cap decides, wait, I can't sit here behind the island, I gotta do something, and comes out and starts trading blows with a Moskva and a Venezia. 1v2, don't see that one happening, so I'm thinking there's going to have to be some plays in the center here. And while QQ7 has taken the cap, even on a single cap, with a contested cap, it does look like KSA still holds the advantage. They got to make a play.
Yep. The Des Moines of Requiem now taking a torpedo from the Howland. However, because it's a Howland torpedo and not a Shimikaze, Requiem still alive, as the Shimikaze of Alex now finally torpedoes Merrick's daring up there in the center, which means B is very likely to be solidly in QQ7's favor. KSA doing an extraordinarily good job of taking it to this very, very, traditionally powerful team of QQ7 and friends, doing a really excellent job, but now down 2 boats, including a destroyer. So we'll see if they're able to actually take C back here. If the Howland can take C back, they're still slated to win on points at the moment.
Yes, we do see KSA taking dominant position over in Charlie at the moment. Take some long-range Hail Mary torps at a Colbert that might or might not take the bait. Why? Because Palski has decided we have to do something, and has actually taken the initiative to go all the way out on that 10 line looking for these torp angles, and he's going to find one. He's not going to find the second one, but that is a Shimikaze torp, and holy oof, that hurts. Meanwhile, Colbert is probably dodging Holland torps. Moskva gonna die in probably about 2 to 3 minutes. That'll be a point swing. Still looks like it's in KSA's advantage at the moment. Question if QQ7 can get out of B and go somewhere and do something, because right now, if they don't, they're just gonna watch this loss happen in slow motion.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. So it's a minute 45 until KSA walks away with this one. The Moskva is likely to go down. I don't think he's going to live any longer than this. He is now going forward rather than backing up behind the rock. I think that may have been a mistake, as he's now going to be exposed to the long-range battleship guns of QQ7 and friends, and down it goes to concentrated continuous fire from the Colbert. That still, KSA still has the point advantage and wins on points, but they are now 3 ships down to 0. This is going to be very, very interesting. I don't quite know how this is going to go. Fevagi's Stalingrad took a big hit earlier. Now QQ7 making a concerted effort to stack up ships around B, but they still have B. There's nothing they can really do there. They need to step on A, or finally step on C, which it looks like Requiem is about to do so along with Palski. But now that the Moskva's radar of KSA is no longer a problem, Palski should be able to go ahead and take C.
That is the loss condition for KSA. Polsky could not get into C because that Kleber cannot contest Bravo. He can sit in Bravo for as long as he wants while he gets lit by a Shima and shot in the ass, but even a Kleber runs out of health at some point. Punter did actually spot the Shimikaze moving into C, and he popped smoke. At that point, Punter was not under threat of Colbert guns nor Des Moines guns, and actually was able to chip a good chunk off of Polsky, but did not stay and keep him there. Polsky got loose, and the cat takes the bag. He unfortunately takes Charlie. That's going to put it in QQ7's favor, unless the Kleber of Rackham can live 2 minutes and 24 seconds against a whole shitload of QQ7 people that want him dead.
I just don't know that's going to happen. It's still KSA in the lead at the moment. They still win on 1 cap somehow. Okay, now it has switched over. I was wondering why that hadn't happened yet. It has switched over to QQ7, now winning in 1 minute and 10 seconds. They have decisively taken C with no real chance of losing it. B has also been taken, and I don't really know. I don't think the Kleber of Rackham's Revenge can actually back into the cap without being seen by that Shimikaze. Alex doing a very good job of making sure that his detection range is exactly within, exactly within that spot where Rackham's Revenge would get seen. It might be worth it at this point for Rackham's Revenge to just start backing up and hopefully see the Shimikaze and just take some damage, because 948 to 936, it is very close. 1 kill could make or break this game.
A kill could do it, but the Kleber is going to have to sit his happy little ass in Bravo and get shot for the next minute at least. Meanwhile, Punter in the Holland's going to have to cockblock Charlie. That's the only way. Unless it's a kill, they have to block both of the caps of QQ7 until they can overtake and then be able to 1-cap it all the way to victory. There's no pressure at that A-cap. That A-cap's completely clean. Goliath is nowhere in means of a threat. Question is, how long does Rackham stay up? I don't think it's going to be too long.
Well, he's banking on that damage saturation mechanic of the Kleber right now to hold on. But again, holding on is just not enough. He is actually blocking the cap, but it's too little too late. QQ7 winning in 30 seconds, KSA in 48 seconds. So it's very, very close. It will come down very likely to 1 kill, and it looks like it's going to be Rackham's Revenge or maybe even 36th Think. Is he taking a torpedo? No, he dodges the torpedo. Is there anything on QQ7's side that could die? I think only the Yamato of Christopher... I can't tell Christopher the Slur. 5 seconds.
Holy fuck!
Down go. Oh my god! The first game. That's exactly what happened. That's amazing. Stop me if I'm wrong, but that went to KSA, right? Yes,
yeah,
KSA.
Yeah, that.
Congratulations.
That was the thing. That was the thing that happened. That was definitely not expected, but oof. Yamato rolled huge. Those shells came through. They did the thing, and that was clutch as hell. I think that was probably 1 to 2 seconds left before that was a loss, and KSC somehow able to clinch victory from the jaws of defeat with the guns of the mighty Yamato, if I remember correctly.
That's just absolutely astounding. I mean, that match was so back and forth and close that whole time. It literally came down to one well-placed Yamato shot. That's... Oof, man. I love it when the first game of the day literally results in a highlight. That's fantastic. Congratulations to both teams, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Congratulations to KSA, a relatively newcoming clan. I believe this is mostly clan TKS, who's a Typhoon level clan now, literally taking it to the stalwart Hurricanes of AP and QQ7, as well as an 07 member. That's really astounding to see. Congratulations to both teams.
Holy shit.
Yeah. All right. Big start to the day. Big start to the day. I'm going to go ahead and find out where our next match is going to be. If you guys don't mind giving me just a moment. Go back to the thing.